Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What's going on, Lenny? Door knocker, how are you, dear? That up's here. Probably doing one of the most boring things ever. CC Magging, Hope, how are you? Cora, how the heck are you? You're stuck in traffic. Oh man. That's the funny thing. I'm kind of hoping this doesn't become one of those traffic things. But I get the worst pain in my shoulder. But nothing better for pain in your shoulder quite like a good protest. Anyway, it's been a while. But I didn't live stream the last protest I went to. I just went and talked to people. It's funny how people talk to you differently when there's no camera around. Had some interesting conversations with people. But that same group today, the Washington County Democrats, they're coming out to protest at the Social Security Administration building here in Hagerstown. They're not protesting the Social Security building, but they're going to protest out in front of it, apparently. And that's supposed to be at 1:30 in 7 minutes. What's up, Tara? How are you? Roz here. Troy. The whole gang's in the house. Anyway, so we're gonna see what's gonna happen here, because honestly, I feel, my gut tells me, some people are waking up. There's some of them that aren't going to wake up. One of the questions I had challenged them with when I was out at the square was what individual pays the highest federal taxes, personal federal taxes. And they were all very surprised to hear. Didn't believe me, didn't trust me, but they were going to do their own research. But they were surprised to hear that Musk had paid $10 billion in taxes. But it looks as though, and everybody I've seen so far is much older than I am. And the same people here, look at this guy. He's getting ready, getting out of his car. But much older than I am. This man looks to be about 70, maybe older. And it's part of the hands off. You see his little sign there? Hands off. Because there's this group, the hands off movement, that has been saying that Trump is going to get rid of Social Security, when in fact he wants to get rid of federal taxes. He wants to get rid of the tax on your Social Security. So if you're collecting Social Security, you're going to get more, right? And Elon has been working diligently, apparently, to get rid of the fraud. People who have been scamming people like this gentleman out of their Social Security money. According to Elon, it was too easy to go in and redirect the Social Security payments to a different account. And so I forget what the number was that they were saying was going to these fraudsters. that were stealing grandma's and grandpa's Social Security. So these people out here they hate Trump. They believe that they're going to lose their Social Security. The people they should be mad at is this hands-off group that has created this boogeyman that doesn't exist. And so that's what we're watching. The older couple, here comes one of the organizers, apparently. Maybe he's got his sound system with him, carrying a sound system. Weak network connection. That's unfortunate. Why is that? Why would that be doing that? I'll tell you, this live streaming thing sucks. It doesn't. I have no idea what my signal looks like. I'm sure I got a booster on. It's funny, it's been so long since I've streamed that I almost forget how to do it, but not really. I don't think they're gonna have much of a crowd. Let's go take a ride around. I'm sitting in the truck right now because I'm waiting for my phone to charge a little bit. And by the way, this couldn't be the worst place to protest. Here's what you got going on. So this is the back side of the mall. This is like a service drive. There's a bunch of hotels. Back there is the Hub City Diner. And then you've got the backside of the Ford dealership here. It gets a little bit of traffic, but like, I don't get it. Like, you'd literally be better off in the square of Hagerstown and traffic coming home. But this is just like an office building with a crappy hotel behind me. There's the Ford dealership. Sam's Club is back there. But I guess they're gonna hang out on that corner. If they're gonna, I thought maybe there might be more people here, but it doesn't really look like that's gonna be the case. There's like 4 people here. So this is the Washington County Democrats was promoting this hands-off protest. I see a lot of older people coming in, but not too many people all in all. This lady, she's going to protest. Live at Sam's Club. Yeah, just about. It's like, there's the crowd. Hi, Jackie. You know, like, I get that they're concerned about their Social Security, as they should be, right? What's sad to me, and what I saw 2 weeks ago, what was it, 3 weeks ago maybe, when they were out on a Saturday, I think it was, a lot of older adults. I took some video. I didn't share it. It wasn't. You've seen it all before. But my point was is that I feel bad because these people have been so lied to, and they're so convinced. How convinced are you that you're losing your Social Security?
I just was here 2 days ago in a long conversation with people.
Yeah, and what'd they tell you?
Up there, up above, there's a lot going on. Not to worry about it. But I've done all I can do. I've done everything that I can do. I've provided. I mean, I've been receiving it for a while.
Right.
And
So you're not here to protest?
I am, because
Oh.
I have friends who are there.
But where did you hear that you were going to lose your Social Security? Is it just from this hands-off group?
No. Just the news.
What news?
The news that you hear, you know, I mean, it comes across all of the news stations and the independent news. Well,
Right.
I mean, I can't say. It's just that you hear them talking about it.
Hear who?
You hear, what's his name? The one from South Africa. You heard him saying that he was going to make some changes. You know, that
Well, did you hear what his changes were? Did you listen to
he
him
said
tell
he
you
was
what they were?
going to- I thought I heard him say he was going to, discontinue it.
No.
He didn't want here's the point.
There's
I
fraud
did-
happening. There's people that are stealing your
That's-
Social
that's
Security
what-
and my Social Security.
That's what I heard.
Right.
But I don't know how true that is. Because-
It's true.
because listen to what I'm telling
They
you.
found billions of dollars.
That could be, but
right?
let me just say this about
Do you know
all of
how they
that.
steal your
Well,
Social
I
Security?
haven't done my
They basically
I
steal
know.
your identity and log into your Social Security
Well,
and get the
people
check
are-
sent to
people
them
are
instead of to
stealing
you.
my identity when I go to the restaurant.
Yeah.
With
No,
my
no, it's
credit
totally
card,
possible.
because I don't have one, but my bank card. So I'm just saying,
But Elon Musk has never said he's going to take Social. In fact, they
Well,
want to
he-
get you
he
more
shouldn't.
Social Security.
Well, I would think that would be right. But listen,
Right.
let me go so I can just make, so I can, let my friends know I'm supporting them. But I see
But
what I
don't
do
support
is,
them. Help
what-
them understand
no.
that they're being taken advantage of.
Let me
No,
do-
it's
let
sad
me do.
because
But
they're
let
actually
me
being
just say
taken
this.
advantage of, and you shouldn't allow that to happen.
When something goes wrong and I'm concerned about it, I go to the people.
Right.
Either through the telephone or I'll actually walk up to the offices and say, listen, here's who I am.
Yeah.
I'm a citizen and I have questions.
Do you ever listen to like Trump speak, or Elon with the Doge team went on Fox and had an entire conversation and answered questions?
Well, he might have.
Did you see that? Because that might have answered some of the questions for you.
I don't know, but like I
It
said,
might have actually upset you more that people are stealing Social Security that don't deserve it.
People steal everything. But
Yeah.
I'm more independent, but like I say, there are colleagues that you have, and I don't even know. I'm going to see. This may be the first and last time I go, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
Well, it
Because
doesn't
I
seem like
believe
there's a
in-
very big crowd.
No.
I expected there might be more, but this hands-off group is really taking advantage of people, grandparents and whatnot, and it's really sad because you don't deserve that. You deserve the truth more than anybody, but they're using you as pawns to create a narrative. Yeah. Oh, I know. But right. They're turning you against the very people who are trying to help you, which is sad. Yeah. Right. Just be careful who you trust, because we care about you, and yeah. Sure. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, they see a lot of things, don't they? Yeah. 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 Nice talking to you. You have a great day. She's a lovely lady. I feel so bad. People are so easily fooled, and it doesn't take much to. Oh. Smithsburg got their police car fixed. Yeah, there's just a handful up there. I upset them so much that I just decided I'm gonna, sit back here for time being. But they I haven't seen any really awful signs. The one thing that I noticed that was really interesting at the last one is there were less Nazi signs. There were less signs at the last protest that there was only one sign, in fact, that had a Nazi symbol on it. But they've gotten away from calling Trump and Elon Nazis, right? So that's one change. But it's interesting to see they got the 1776 flag out there. Hey, door knocker, do me a favor. Or Troy. Just say goodbye to Al Munson and Charlie Cheswick for me. Thank you. They don't need to be here. Anyway. But it's going to shake a little bit. He's got a 1776 flag. I don't think he realizes what that is. Hey, V Radio. Good to see you, bud. V, you can do no wrong. Sorry, y'all. I wasn't really paying attention to the chat, and you know, here I don't really have much control over that, and you know, open up. But we didn't ban them. We just timed them out. I hope. I don't. You know. Anyway, say goodbye to Mo. You know, just time Mo out. It doesn't. You know, like life is too short. And no, I don't get my feelings hurt. I'm just stronger than that, and it doesn't. You don't need to be here. So, was there a crew in Martinsburg doing same today? Yes, they've been doing these all over the place, and I don't know if today was like the day for Social Security. They got something going on. I think the 5th. They've got May Day protests coming up. You have to register for the event in order to do that. I'll be registering for that event so I can find out the date and time. No due process for the regular trolls. I love it, Groth. No, we already know. They're done. They're done. They add no value. So life's too short for people that add no value to it. But yeah, I think there's like 8 people out here now. And that guy, what's he doing? He's just hanging out. Oh, man. Gosh. James, I try my best. That's all I can do, but not anymore. I'm like, I don't have my rig. I literally just got done with work and headed over here. But I thought I'd check it out and share some time with you. And we might get out and go say hi to... I just feel so bad for these people. 65 and over club. Yeah. Talk about taking advantage of the elderly and the people who... It's really, I think, disrespectful. And this Hands Up group, they're I believe connected with Indivisible. The Washington County Democrats group connected me to the Indivisible movement, and they're all funded protest organizers that have been putting together these I throw air quotes. No, Metro, this is not. These are all like people who believe that their Social Security is going to be taken away, that Trump's going to get rid of Social Security, which he's not, they think Trump's firing everybody from the VA, which he's not. It's like, aren't they getting paid by USAID? Not anymore. But, it's hard to say who they're getting paid for. But these aren't paid protesters. These are people who have been fooled into believing something that's just frankly not true. And it's sad because they worry. They think they're in jeopardy of losing their livelihoods, their Social Security money, which they're not. And so I don't, you know, I just feel bad. Here comes a big American flag. I don't know. Let me see. We're gonna go for a cruise. I've been up since 2:15 this morning, so I'm kind of wiped out, and so we're just taking it easy. We're just gonna see what the fuss is all about. Oh, look. There's more than I thought. Hands off our democracy. Authoritarians are not welcome here. I find that funny. Protect public lands. Talk about taking streaming to the limits in the car. This is wonderful. Hang on, I'll fix the framing here in a second. Let me get parked. This is pretty great. This is pretty great. Let me just sit here. Is the sound any better now without it in? Hands off our Social Security. It's like if a protest happens in the woods and there's nobody there to hear it, did it really happen? And I would almost like, I didn't know where the Social Security office was. It's hidden back down behind, and there's no sign out front here really to let you know it's here. But what do you even need to go to a Social Security office for anymore? I remember when I was a kid back in the early 70s going in with my mom and signing my Social Security card at the Social Security office on Mack Avenue in Detroit. Big office. Oh, the truck's got the air horns. We support government workers. Okay. What else does their sign say? Can't quite read it. Downside is I'm not charging anymore. 50% battery. So just on this left side here, there's the one man taking photos. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 women to the left of the sign and 4 men. So the women are out. Well, the men are over here congregating on this side. But still, I would say about 70% women, older women. Senior citizens. I don't protect public land. See, I don't disagree with that, but I'm not sure what like the specifics are on that. And then the blue sign says paid, like a rubber stamp, Social Security. Stand with courage is the orange sign. And then, oh look, the car salespeople are out here watching what's going on. It's kind of funny. They've come to see what the hubbub's about. So this woman here is calling for the death of 47. I'm always blown away by that. Social Security is perishable, is this guy's sign. On the sideways sign in the blue shirt with the red hat. Huh. I think that's the guy in the green is the head of the Washington County Democrats. And then there's the American flag crew over here. Might have to get out and see. Maybe they may not be. No, they're part of the protest too. They're not flying their flags upside down though. But that's interesting that they've gone over on that far side over there. I'll get out here in a little bit. Let it build up. It's still kind of early. They're just getting started. I think today might be the warmest day we've had. Not quite. It was 80, 81 one day. Week before last. Some of you may have heard we had one crazy storm come through Saturday night at I think it was 10 o'clock. It was a very small storm cell, and it had up to 90 mile an hour straight winds. On Monday, as I was out and about, I met a man who, his dad lost 3 cars from one tree that fell. There's trees all over town that are down. Nobody got hurt, thankfully. But a lot of power lines were down. The storm was crazy, right, Tara? The funny thing is the unicorn tells me I'm not allowed to shower during a lightning storm. I've never heard that before. I believe her. But, I was ready for bed. I wanted to jump in the shower, and I'm like, oh, there's a storm coming. We get missed all the time with these storms. They blow north of us, south of us, whatever. I saw the lightning in the distance. I'm like, whatever. I went and took a shower. Well, this freight train came through apparently while I was in the shower. I missed the whole damn thing. But I talked to a guy who lives a few blocks over, and he's like, yeah, it sounded like a freight train coming through. And I saw the sort of the path of that storm, and it looked like it could have been a tornado, but it didn't have the same, it was like metal shed roofs that were blown off, and big pine trees were destroyed. Anything that had the ability to catch the wind was snapped in the middle or pushed over completely. Sort of like the destruction we saw in North Carolina, but not to that extent by any means. But over at the car dealerships, there's one kind of just outside of town. All the power poles had blown into the cars, and it's very strange to see how pocketed the damage was. Camp David had damage, really. Basically, it was right across the border between Pennsylvania and Maryland, from Cumberland all the way across. But so it was fascinating. But anyway, I'd share that. And then these mooks. What would you ask him? What do you want me to ask him? I usually just go with what evidence do you have that they want to end Social Security? because only the Democrats are saying that, which is bizarre to me. I've only heard Democrat politicians say that. I've heard Trump and Elon talk about the fraud that's been taking place, and people who shouldn't be getting Social Security checks. And they could, they analyzed where those checks were going, money going. Like, how can you receive Social Security outside of the United States? You're living in a foreign country, you're getting millions of dollars in Social Security. How is that possible? Now, I know that there's people who can be expats and whatnot, but that money would still go to a U.S. bank. It wouldn't go to a bank outside the United States. Oh, shining light. I didn't see your earlier comment, but I didn't realize you were giving me a hard time. It's funny. The chat is really hard to see, but I'll pay closer attention. You can give me a hard time. Rolling, that's an obvious statement, right? But I don't even think that the mainstream media is that clear in their statements. They say things that fringe on the idea, or they allow politicians on their air, and then it appears that it's coming from mainstream media, but it's not really, because obviously mainstream media can be held accountable. One of the things I find interesting, how many of you know who the White Rose groups are? Like, you have White Rose in Portland, you have White Rose, different areas. Yeah, nobody said they're more than allowed to protest. Nobody said you can't. Nobody's out here stopping them from protesting. They are doing their thing. It's unbelievable that you would even make a statement like that. I am allowed to challenge what their beliefs are, right? And we all know that what their signs say is bullshit. So there's the challenge. I don't think this is the kind of group that would march up onto it's not a highway, but it is a very busy roadway that takes you to the highway, and block that off. This is not one of those kind of groups. But as I was sitting over at the Hub City Diner and looking over here, I was like, I've been to enough protests to know that we're in a location. It is very sad they've been fed these lies. And they shouldn't have the fear of losing their Social Security. In fact, they should be gleeful that there's the possibility that they're going to get more in Social Security, because there won't be so much waste and fraud, that we would actually be able to give people more to help with, the financial, burden that we have now. We all pay into this system. I'm not trying to spin anything, Foxy. I didn't say anything to that matter. They can be out here and protest. Am I stopping them? Again, you're one of those NPCs that sits there and makes the dumbest comments. So just say goodbye to Foxy. Foxy probably agrees with the 8647. Apparently I can only do 5 minutes, door knocker. Well, Lisa, the reason they can't see it is because they're told not to listen to him. They're told not to hear his words, not to hear Elon's words, when they go in and sit down and they're transparent. As Democrats, and liberals, progressives, whatever they are, they may even be like right-wing haters of Trump, whatever, but they're told not to listen to him. Or they're only shown the little bits and pieces that the mainstream media wants to show without showing the entire context, the entire story. They avoid doing that because they don't want you to support somebody that they, don't support. All right. Edward Cam's a moron. We're not bringing him back. Say goodbye to Edward Cam. That's just stupid. He is home. That's right, Vizzy. He's El Salvadorian. He's not an American citizen. Laura, they are a cult. They've been calling Trump supporters a cult for the longest time, and it's absolutely ridiculous. They 100% we'll go see what a cult there. We'll go talk to the Washington County Democrat leadership over here. Come on, it'll be fun. Let me roll the windows up. We're freestyling it. I got no stand, no nothing. We're going old school. Oh, this is what democracy looks like. Office is?
Yeah, around the back. Around the
back. You ever been inside? Is it nice?
It's well secured.
Is it? Well, it does have security in its name.
There's a reason why they have security.
Angry old people?
Huh?
Angry old people?
Yeah, people that are. Yeah. Do you? People get upset.
Yeah. Do you get angry when all of a sudden your check doesn't show up because somebody stole it?
Oh, I've never heard of anybody stealing it.
Really? Oh, that's what I heard.
I don't. I get mine all done automatically now.
Right. Well, that's what they do apparently. Is they go onto the website. They've basically stolen your identity and convert the funds being sent to your bank account to their bank account.
That happens on the other end.
Yeah. Right.
I don't think I get. I don't know who to get mad at now. I know, but they can do anything. One thing, if it's all in the, digitally in the air, they can do anything.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to getting more Social Security money?
No, I'm just I like what I'm getting.
But you're going to get more apparently.
When?
Well, yeah. From what I understand, is they found so much fraud that when they reduce that fraud, they'll actually have more money to give out.
What they're going to do is just take and lower the taxes on the rich. claim they saved it. They're not going to take it.
What does that have to do with Social Security? That we've all
Exactly.
paid into?
That's exactly my point.
And we stopped
This
on an overtime,
Doge is it's a big scam.
Right, but what does the taxes thing have to do with Social Security?
And
Social
where
Security
they
is,
cut money is great.
but Social Security is an independent thing, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Like
No,
it comes out of our
it's
paychecks, it goes into a fund,
There's no-
and then that
no,
fund
it's
gets
always been
gone
operated about 25 years ago into a general
right.
fund.
Yeah. Who was that, and when did that happen? That was like
30 years ago.
yeah.
Don't you remember Lockbox?
Right.
Yeah, that was the big. That was for upcoming.
Right.
I think that was gas funds. But you know, if the government goes into the government, it's going to get
Right.
shoveled
They see
around
that money
eventually.
sitting there. They want to use it because
Well, they
you know
want-
it's the piggy bank, right?
But it's a big
Right.
fund. I'm afraid they want to destroy Social Security and privatize it.
Right.
Then they'll leverage it out and empty. There'll be nothing left for anybody.
So where did we hear that they were going to get rid of Social Security?
I understand it from just from what they've been cutting back and ruining so many different services and aspects of other programs.
Yeah.
Now
Which part, like USAID?
Well,
Right,
USAID,
that was one of them. They got rid of that.
USDA,
USDA? No.
food inspection. They've cut staff for all those guys. There's very few food inspectors left in the West.
Yeah.
So that's hugely important.
Oh,
The
okay.
food supply, that's a critical thing.
But we're talking about Social Security today, right?
I'm talking about, yeah. Well, I'm not. I like due process for all. I think they're all interrelated because I think we have this current administration
Really?
is mega
So
corrupt.
due
here's what-
process coming in.
Due
what does that look
process
like?
means follow the law.
Follow the law.
this
So
is-
did they follow the law when they came to the country legally? No.
Yes, they do.
They didn't.
Yes,
actually.
they do. Well, you're
Especially-
no, that's not correct.
You're talking about
That's-
you're talking about the Maryland man, right?
I'm talking about 7 million people in this country. They came in. They have
Illegally.
hearing. No,
Yes,
they cross the
they-
border. You get processed.
No, they
They're-
came in
they're-
illegally.
No,
right?
wrong.
Well, they did. You at
get-
least be truthful.
you
Say,
get processed.
yes, they came in illegally, and
Well,
we
they-
allowed them to stay to have this process of immigration.
Yes, the
right.
process-
We opened up the borders.
we're
We
always
allowed
been-
them to come across.
We've always been
right?
open to.
At least be honest with the conversation, because if we
Well,
can't
don't
be
call
honest,
me a liar.
we can't really.
Don't call me a liar.
I didn't call you a liar. I said you have to be honest. So
Well, it's not illegal.
is the Maryland
There is
man-
a process for people coming across the border. You go and you say, "I'm
go
here as
through
a
a
refugee.
border
I'm
crossing,
here as
right?
a refugee."
You go-
They say, "Okay, we'll have
But
a
you go through a
hearing
border
for you."
crossing, right?
I'm talking 7 million people in the country.
Right.
Then you say, "You've got to come back for a hearing because we don't have the
Right.
means
And how
to
long does that
process
take?
you." To process
Right.
you.
And how
we
long does
have
that take?
well, if you have 7 million people, it should take. He's got some hubcap just like me. How long should that take?
yeah.
Well, if you had enough judges, you could process it.
Yeah.
If you
and
don't
so
have,
Garcia, the Maryland
so
man,
we have as a,
he was adjudicated.
he wasn't
and
adjudicated
was
for
supposed
anything.
to be sent home.
He was black bagged and sent out. The judge said no.
Well, this
he
is
hasn't
back
had
from
due
2019.
process. He said you haven't had. You've
So-
got to stop right now and let's
so you don't
evaluate.
think we have enough criminals and enough,
No, I
enough
think you
women
follow
beaters
the
in
law.
our country?
Due process means follow the law.
Yeah. Not
Fol-
anymore.
but
They
the law
came in
means,
illegally.
and the law says you're in
We
this
would
country.
never
we
be
have-
able to get rid of anybody if that
you
were the
do
case.
if you say, listen, your case doesn't
Yeah.
merit it.
Yeah.
Then you go back, but you
Right.
have to have due.
They did that with him, and he didn't leave.
No,
They did. Check it out.
Trump and Musk have got to go. Hey, hey. Trump and Musk have got to go. Trump and Musk.
Why? What should they go for?
What should who go for?
Well, you said Trump and Musk must go.
Yeah.
Go for what?
Go to hell. How about that?
Why?
Because they're wrecking our country.
How?
How?
Well, your sign says not a single payment missed in over 80 years until now.
That's
Bad
right.
Doge.
That's right.
So you had a Social Security payment that you didn't get? You're not even 80.
Not me.
Right. So where did the payment go?
Ask Trump and ask Elon Musk.
Right. So
People have been
do you know,
missing their
do you know that
payments.
they talked about what was happening to those payments? So this lady to your left, for instance, she gets her payment automatically direct deposited. Do you know what happens if somebody steals your identity and goes into that account and switches where that money goes.
And is that what's happening, buddy?
That's their claim, yeah.
But their claim is bullshit.
How do you know it's bullshit?
How do you know it's true?
Well, they did go on TV and sit down all the Doge departments, and they talked about all the things that they were finding. Did you at least watch it to hear what they were talking about? I like your cowboy hat. So, who told you that they want to get rid of Social Security? No,
They
sir,
did.
it's a fair question, is it not?
They're talking about it, moron.
What? Only because you have a sign that says they're, you know. Who's talking about it? Who's taking away Social Security? Can anybody tell me that? No, seriously.
What's going on?
Who's taking away Social Security? Who told you that Social Security is going away?
Maybe it's... Oh, okay.
Ignore. Seriously, ignore.
Well, it's not worth the conversation.
Well, no, apparently it's not, because you guys can't tell me where you learn these things. And I feel bad for these older people out here have been fooled and lied to. And you're probably one of those people that's doing it to them. I'm angry for you.
Hours on the phone to get an appointment at this local
Yeah.
Social Security office.
That's awful. You shouldn't have to.
Correct.
Right.
And that's because Elon
No,
Musk
it's not
is-
actually.
Yes, it is.
Elon's actually trying to make it easier for you to deal with the Social Security Administration. Have you not paid any
They
attention?
want to privatize.
I'm sorry, they don't want to privatize
They
it.
wanna rob it.
Who's lying to you?
Trump's
It's this
tax
hands-off
cut to
group.
the
I
rich
feel
people are
I
the
feel really
exact-
bad that
is
people
the-
have lied to you, because you don't deserve that. You shouldn't be angry with anybody, except for this hands-off group. I like your hat. You got the best spot to sit and chill out and hang out.
I heard he had a good spot, so I came to visit him.
It's tailgate protesting. Do you know where the Kings thing came from?
King?
Yeah. Do you know why that this Trump is a king? Where that started? How that started?
The way he's trying to rule over
He controls all
everybody.
the branches of government.
Yeah, he's the
All
president.
branches.
Yeah, he's the president. But no, the
No.
Kings thing is really funny. A lot of people
You
say,
asked the question, let me finish. Because he is acting like a king. He is sending people away without due process.
Well,
And
they-
even and arresting, encouraging arresting.
Do you know that man
citizens.
beat his wife?
I'm not finished. You asked
do you know
the
that man
question.
beat his wife
Excuse me.
and was a violent criminal?
Who?
The Maryland man, the person you're talking about being sent away.
Have you read the?
Yes.
the
Oh, I have. I've seen all the evidence.
Well,
And
I
he
I
shouldn't
think
be
you're
here.
reading,
He wasn't
I think
supposed to
you're-
be here.
Excuse me. You asked the question,
He
right?
applied for refugee
But you wanna
status
tell
and
me
he
something.
didn't qualify.
So you're not. You don't want to know my answer.
No, I do.
You want to talk
But-
to me.
but you're-
Sorry, I'm not
you're-
talking to you anymore.
So the king thing comes
You can't
from
even ask a question and
Yeah.
listen.
yeah, because
And
you went off
started
on
it.
some other tangent. We were talking about the king, and I'm sorry, but
Yes, and I was trying to
It's-
tell you,
it's-
but then you started talking.
the Democrats were calling him a
bye,
king,
bye,
and
I'll
so
see you later.
he made a
Bye,
joke
bye,
about
bye,
being
bye,
the
bye.
king when he took away the charge for excuse me,
Whoa.
very violent. That's sad.
I'm not.
That's
hurting
sad.
you.
But
Actually-
you are. That's
I
assault.
asked you to leave. I
But
don't
it's
wanna
assault.
Talk to you.
It's public space.
You're the one who is.
I feel sorry
invading
for you
my
because you've been
privacy.
lied to, and it's very sad. It's hard to watch. Very sad. The right thing to do.
Me,
You did?
Yeah.
Convince yourself?
based on all the information that's out there, yes.
Where has Donald Trump said he's going to take away Social Security?
Him and his loyalists have said that.
They
Look,
haven't,
look,
though.
What are you here for?
Have you ever
What are
seen?
you here
have you ever
for?
seen a clip of him saying he's going to take away
Yes,
Social
I
Security?
have.
Because
Now
it doesn't
get the hell
exist.
out of here.
He actually is trying to get you more money.
Get the hell out of here. He is never trying to get me more money. Never.
First
Yeah,
of all,
you don't
I agree-
listen.
No, I agree with everything on your side.
Really?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, are you kidding me? All of it.
But
No, there's no buts. I agree.
Well, I don't know what this guy's up to.
Well, no, I just want to ask you guys some questions.
Okay.
Okay. How much was Medicare, Medicaid last year? And if you come within $200 billion, I'll
What
be
I
impressed.
pay?
No.
What the government-
What did the government pay out in Medicare,
I
Medicaid?
honestly don't know.
What did they pay out in Social Security?
I don't honestly. Well, let me stop you right there.
Okay, go ahead.
Until that fund is insufficient.
It already is.
No.
It already.
Until it is, that money is not a government expense. It's a transfer.
So you don't. Okay, so define. Hi. So define transfer.
Transfers from one account to another.
Okay, so who's putting the money in?
Me and my employer.
The taxpayers are putting the money in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
You
where
need to
does
do
it
some
go?
research
Where
into
does it go?
who the White
Well,
Rose groups are.
It was
I
supposed to
already-
buy.
You do know?
Yes, my
So
degree is in political
they're-
science. I am a
They're
political
violent.
scientist.
They're violent left-wing extremists known as Antifa.
Well, that's a bunch of bullshit.
But it's
Where
not.
are they? Yes, it is. They
Look
weren't.
trust me. Look
They
into
have
them, and
not
you will learn all
attacked
about
the
White Rose
Capitol.
groups
It's
all
bull-
over the
it's
country.
bullshit.
It's not bullshit.
Yes,
I've
it is.
actually, I've actually seen them up close.
And where have they been doing their thing violently?
Lately, not lately.
Yes, I do.
Summer of Love.
That's my
They've been
point.
all over the place.
That's
Just
my point.
before you start sending out
They were not the
messages about
Capitol.
White Rose
They
or
were not the Capitol January 6th.
Do you
and then
believe-
got
do you
pardoned
believe in
by this
socialism?
criminal pardon.
yeah, I know
One of
you're the
club.
Democrat,
You know.
Washington County Democrat group, but do you believe in socialism and communism?
By the way, I'm 62. I would like
You don't.
No,
Well, that's what White Rose is after.
they're a little fringe group, for God's sake. You
Why
don't
would you
understand.
continue to give them a voice on your platform on
I
Facebook?
don't.
I just like to know
Whoever
that
runs your
one
account
man-
does.
No, they
aren't you-
don't.
Aren't you
Really?
Yes.
Democrats, Washington County?
Do not simply know.
I see it all the time. I'll show,
I'm the one.
I'd show you the screenshots, but
Show me. Show
I
me.
can't. I'm live streaming
Oh,
right now.
well, then, the hell with
I'll
you.
send them to you. I'll watch your DMs. I'll DM you. I'll share it with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
White-
what he said.
White
It's
Rose.
never
Well,
been on there.
everybody should
Yeah, that White
oppose
Rose.
fascists.
Yeah. Well, everyone opposes.
Everybody
I
should
am
oppose
anti-fascist,
fascists.
but I
was
am not an
born in the middle
Antifa.
of
Do you know what
World War
Antifa is?
I know all about
Yeah.
fighting fascists.
Right. So
I do
they're
not
not
care.
they're not fighting
You don't know what the
fascism.
hell you're talking
When they dress up in black bloc, do you know what that is?
What does it
Black
matter?
bloc?
They
Do
don't
you know what that is?
anything.
back?
Black bloc.
They're not
It's a way of
killing
hiding your
people at
identity.
The U.S. Capitol policemen.
Sorry.
They didn't kill policemen.
Oh, actually, they did.
Where?
They actually injured more policemen at the White House on October
What do we find out?
15th when they burned down part of the White House grounds.
Yeah, come on. Where did you?
Do you really not know that happened?
How much?
Listen, do you really have
Yeah, you really no. It's okay, but
I don't.
honest
I
to
don't
God,
believe
do you really not know that happened? This is when Black
But
Lives
they killed-
This
they
is
killed
when Black
people.
Lives Matter Boulevard was created
Yeah.
after that riot.
Well, there wasn't a riot.
There was actually.
No, there wasn't.
Remember, Donald Trump came out with his Bible in the Secret
Yeah,
Service.
upside down.
Yep, that was the day after because they tried to burn down that church.
No,
You really don't know that.
I
No,
do
no,
know. I know the truth.
I am blown away because I know that people don't know these things, but this man right here is so unwilling to hear anything that goes against his party.
I hate both parties.
Good
You
for
should.
That will help
But
us
no,
going
it's
forward, isn't it? So
Look,
don't
no,
vote.
No, but
Don't
if
vote.
you're really unaware that
Don't
that
vote.
happened and you
Don't
don't know,
vote.
you shouldn't be
I'm
reposting
aware
White
of the
Rose
fire
Society.
at that church
I know.
across
I know.
the
It's
way.
hard for you to
It's not
understand.
what you said.
I'm a libertarian.
There were plenty of articles about that.
I know.
And you read probably Fox News
Of
or
what?
something.
That's like
The
an
fire at the church
Oh yeah,
across from the White House.
It's heavily covered. Live
It
streamers like you were
wasn't as
there.
covered as had nothing to do with that.
Sorry,
It had nothing to do
What had
with
nothing?
the protests. The fire at the church.
they're the ones who set it on fire.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No,
Did
they
you?
did not.
Are you familiar with the over 600 days of firebombing the federal building in Portland? Do you know about that?
600 days.
600 days firebombing the federal building in Portland, Oregon.
Where'd you get that information?
It's literally all over the internet. You can watch it happen live.
It's on the interweb. It must be true. Right? Yeah.
Well, I can show it to you. I will end my live stream and I will show you riots. I will show you the riots that occurred
that started this whole thing when Trump became president the first time.
Hey, these two, take them with you.
And if you're really not like willing to understand and hear these things, it's difficult to see you like this because you're being taken advantage of.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No,
you
I'm
actually
not.
are.
Oh my God.
If you actually were using your own head and doing your own, and not just trusting the things that people tell you.
Shut up. Oh, man.
Shut up. You got it. You got it. You got it. I'm sorry that you're being taken advantage of by hands off. That's really sad.
We will replace you.
What?
I said we will replace you.
What does that mean?
That means we're soon a majority minority country.
Break that down, because you said we will replace you. What does that mean when you say that?
You will no longer have the strong voice that you have today.
Really?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What do you think? Maybe losing my job because of my strong voice might be...
It could happen.
Yeah.
Depends what your job is.
Right.
You know, if you're,
So, like,
if you're
not wanting to
bringing
take a vaccination and losing your job
to your
would be the
employer,
same thing?
That might
Right?
happen. That might happen.
So you supported
He
that.
might- he
That's
might
pretty
find-
fascist.
he might
That's
find
really
people more
fascist. Be
qualified
careful.
than
You
you.
supported
That
that.
might- Shut up.
It's
What-
fascist.
What the fuck?
You gotta have more than
expect
that.
to accomplish here? What do you
Conversation.
expect to accomplish?
know
You're
what?
damn sure not going to change my mind.
Hopefully find you
You're venting.
learning a little bit and realizing that this group here is taking
Well, see,
advantage
you're
of it.
wasting your damn time.
It doesn't matter to me.
You're
I'm going to live
wasting
my
your
life no
damn
matter
time.
what. But the simple fact is you being out here protesting is a First Amendment right, as it is and should be. You're nonviolent. You're not assaulting anybody.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, you got some things wrong. If you really look into the world and what's happened since the very first time,
probably
you
look at
haven't.
it a hell
I can
lot
see
more
you
than
haven't.
do.
Because
And
if
I
you
look
had,
at more reliable sources than you do.
do you believe the
Willfully ignorant.
do you believe the hoax about good people on both sides?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
So you know that the media
No, I
manipulated
know
Joe
that
Biden.
the people on the other side were hateful people, bigoted people, racist.
They were
people.
racist.
Yes. Some were absolutely. But
the
Joe Biden
the
ran.
guys with the tiki torches.
Well, not everybody with a tiki torch was. So what was that?
Not everybody with a tiki
What was?
torch.
Yeah. What was that about?
That is a problem.
What was it about? Do you remember?
It was like,
What was Charlottesville about?
don't let the Jews replace
No.
them.
Well, that's actually not what they were saying. But what was the protest about? Do you remember?
No.
You don't. That's a really important thing. It was when the left wing people who are very tender didn't like the Confederate statues. So what they were doing was
I
they were
don't
tearing
like
them
them
all
either.
down.
I think they're
It's okay.
awful.
However, what was happening is that you had these protest groups, much like what you're doing, but more violent, going around and pulling them down, right?
Like we celebrated them doing in Iraq.
Very much so. So
Okay.
that's what the Charlottesville protest was about, was people who didn't want to see these historic monuments being torn to the ground went out there. What?
They weren't
They
historic.
were put up in the 60s.
Not all of them, but maybe that one in Charlottesville. But this had been happening from
But they were
California
they were
to New
violent,
York, right?
They were violent. It was all
No.
get out.
Yeah, they were
I saw
violent.
it.
Violent
No.
protesters were.
No, the white supremacists were the violent ones.
Actually, they weren't. But what happened too is that. Well, no. But listen. You bring it up, and I just want to make sure you understand.
Okay, your spokesman.
I'm not a spokesman.
No.
I've just seen it and
Yours-
witnessed the violence.
yours-
I was assaulted by those protesters as well. Just so you understand, that's how I'm
Donald
coming
Trump
to you.
is a huge asshole, and anything he's attached to has got to.
But you don't listen to what Trump actually says, right? See, I listened to 4 years of Joe Biden the same way I listened to 4 years of Trump, right? When he came on radio, TV, whatever, I watched the speeches, I played along, I listened. And then I hear what the media says, and I hear the narrative.
Which media?
What? All media.
all
CNN, NBC, whatever I can get on my phone.
Fox.
I don't have cable.
Do you listen
so.
to Fox?
Fox comes up occasionally.
Okay,
sure,
that's
they
fine.
all come up.
That is
because
government
if you follow
propaganda.
social media, you get clips from everybody.
That is right-wing propaganda.
How do you know?
I watch it.
So,
And
what
I hear
what
it.
does a commercial advertisement mean to the network?
Pardon? It means cash.
It means cash, right? So, how does a network stay on air?
by
selling advertising, right?
yes.
Which network? Yeah.
Propaganda.
Right.
It works for the government.
Which network doesn't need money in order to stay on television?
And Putin's puppet is
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
Sure, but can you tell me which network doesn't need to sell advertisement to stay on air?
Probably none of them.
What?
Probably none of them.
According to Media Matters, Fox News is the only one that doesn't need money. Do you know why?
Because they've got a rich sugar
No,
daddy running
because
the place.
Roger Ailes cut a deal with the cable companies when they created Fox News that they get $5 per cable subscriber. So they don't actually need to make advertising dollars. So therefore,
That's why my sister
when the
said,
ads run and they
have
don't like what
canceled
Fox
their-
News says, they pull the ads, it doesn't affect them, which is really interesting. It's the only network, not CNN or the others, that actually need viewers or airports to pay for their content. Good talking to you. Look into that. It's really interesting.
If you say that you understand that on both sides of the aisle, people are working for their own self-interest. There are rich people on both sides.
Always. Ever when you need to work for your self-interest, I need to work for my self-interest, right?
That's right. Until there's no such
And I
thing
can
as-
also simultaneously hope for the best for all of this country.
There are no villains,
Right?
quote unquote villains.
I live in Hagerstown,
I do too.
and I just moved here from California a couple of years ago.
Oh Lord.
And California is an awful place.
Oh, it is? I thought
Awful
it was a nice
place.
place.
And Hagerstown is following the lead of California.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
If you notice the number of shootings that have happened, there's been more shootings in the last 2 years. There's been more drugs and homelessness on our streets.
Drugs, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's all because of the policies are very much the same as California. Governor Westmoreland here in Maryland is trying to outdo California for being a fascist state.
Okay.
He wants to put condom machines in elementary schools.
Okay.
Think about that.
That'll wait.
Anyway, how we doing, gang? That's the latest news, actually. Maryland Senate Bill 292 wants to make pre-contextual stops illegal. Police won't be able to pull you over for throwing garbage out your window. They won't be able to pull you over for unregistered vehicle, all kinds of things. And then they want to put condom machines in the elementary schools. That's the new one. It's pretty amazing. I don't know what an elementary school child would need a condom for, but I gotta see if I gotta find a bottle of water. Doing so much talking, my mouth is dry. Too funny. I like some coffee. Who remembers that? That was it. Oh, there's a bottle of water. So there was one Social Security Administration person that came out and was cheering on the people over here. Which I found kind of funny. Quietly hid behind a truck. So the Trump supporters that came out, they threw up some signs and then they disappeared. I'm gonna challenge you. Who's taking away Social Security?
Who?
Yeah, who is? Who's taking away Social Security?
He's taking away Social Security offices. And how are you supposed to process Social Security benefits if you have less workers to man the offices? And
Well, apparently the archaic system with 30-year-old computer systems wasn't working and things were taking too long. They're actually trying
that's
to...
closing offices?
Well,
Why would close
you may not need
offices?
to go into the offices anymore, which is the thing.
But if you don't have workers, how...
Right. So imagine this. I don't know if this place is easy for you to get to, but
This is very easy
what
to get
if
into.
you went to the library and access Social Security on a computer at the library.
Libraries. We're banning books,
Right.
so we're closing
Or
libraries.
what about like a kiosk?
I work at a hospital with a kiosk.
Yeah.
Functional.
Not created by Elon Musk, but it'd be like a Tesla. It'd be like a Tesla in the library that you access your Social Security, and it would be more secure so that fraudsters couldn't steal your Social
After
Security.
he takes our Social Security numbers.
Because that's the only person, the only people that are losing Social Security are the ones who are stealing it from our grandparents.
Oh, that's
You don't believe that?
No, there's.
Do you know anybody that does that? I don't know.
That's a small, very small percentage.
Actually, hundreds of millions of dollars apparently
No,
have gone.
that's-
And do you know how they knew that? It's because that money was sent overseas. People who collect Social
There are a
Security.
lot of people who
Right, to
live
support
overseas are eligible for Social Security.
Yeah, but do you think it would be
Expatriates.
sent over there?
Sure.
Really?
If I live offshore
Most
somewhere,
expats, most expats have bank accounts in the United States.
well, maybe some don't.
Okay, let me ask you this: would you rather pay taxes on your Social Security or not pay taxes?
Pardon me?
Would you like to pay?
already
You pay
pay-
taxes.
you already pay
You already
taxes.
do, right?
You already
So
do.
wouldn't it be great if you didn't have to pay taxes on your,
taxes serve a purpose.
but on your Social Security money?
You already paid your Social Security taxes.
No, you do have
So-
on the Social Security. tax,
Right. So like,
It's treated just like income.
yeah, it's so the
My
federal
rights.
government who gives you the Social Security money is going to take it back from you. Does that make sense? Wouldn't it be?
You're saying you're double taxed is what you're saying.
Well, no, but it's like the very people who are
But when you put money in, your employer takes money out of your salary.
right for
And
Social
you don't
Security.
pay money. You don't pay taxes.
You don't
then.
pay taxes on that then.
Right.
Right now, you're paying it when you get your Social
Right.
Security check.
Just like
But
you're getting
wouldn't
a
you
check
rather
from an
not
employer.
have to pay taxes
Well,
on
sure, but then the system would go bankrupt sooner than it needs to.
that? Would it?
Yeah.
What? Well, because those federal dollars, those federal tax dollars, go to the Treasury, not to the Social Security Administration, right?
What's that?
The money is coming out of Social Security Fund and into your pocket and the federal government's taxes, federal Treasury, right? So it's not the same thing, but so you're okay paying taxes on your Social Security.
I do pay taxes on
I know,
Social
but
Security.
you wouldn't want that to change.
I get plenty of services that
Wow.
I'm willing to pay for.
Where are you guys going? Oh, let's go back for a picture. Let's go back for a picture. It'll be fun. So a photo op.
Yeah. A planned photo op,
A planned photo
I
op.
should say.
Because that's where the social media comes in, right? You got to build that support.
Oh, we'll have plenty of pictures.
Yeah. Who's going to stay out here and protest then?
Well,
Because isn't that what we're here for?
you want to take a sign? You can stand out there.
I know. I didn't bring a sign.
Oh, well, anyone.
Can I have the one that says "Kill Trump"? Because that's, I don't know where she went to. She was in a walker. She might need some. Oh, there she is.
I
over
haven't
there.
seen that one.
Well, it says 8647.
Oh, that one.
Right? And that's what that says, right? So
Well,
you think that's okay? I'm curious. I just like,
usually in restaurants it means.
I noticed
we're
that at
out
least you
of.
got the Nazi symbolism off the signs. That was the last protest. There was only one. The signs before that, there were all Nazi signs.
All.
Most of them, 90% of them.
Which day
I can
was
show
that?
you the video. People with signs, they all had swastikas
day?
and what?
Which one?
Calling Elon and Donald Nazis.
which date?
You guys got away from that. The first one.
Very first one back in February.
Yeah.
How good
I don't
are you
know
on
if
your
you
history?
Well, I have the video.
I mean, how good are you on your history about Nazi Germany?
Well, nothing here in the United States is Nazi Germany. And you're a
Okay.
complete fucking fool if you think it is.
Okay.
And you should be upset with those people who lie to you because this is nowhere near that.
Yeah.
And to mock Jews being killed in a Holocaust is incredibly
Not
insane.
anybody, my man.
talking about Elon
You're a
Musk now.
complete fucking moron to believe that.
Get out of my face.
I'm not in your face. You're walking against me. Go take your picture. Keep thinking that everybody's a Nazi. It's a winning strategy for 2028.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we're gonna need.
All right. You're doing great with the bullhorn. I'd get a bigger one.
I don't really care.
Bigger
what you
bullhorn
think.
is always better.
I am louder than you.
Size really doesn't matter.
It's how you use it.
Oh shit.
It's how you use it.
Thanks. We actually hired a photographer for this, so you don't have to do that. But
That's okay.
thank you.
You enjoy.
Yeah.
This one's I'm a member, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but nobody's taking away Social Security. Elon and Trump are actually helping you get more money from Social Security because they're saving billions of dollars by not sending it to people who are stealing it. That's for you guys. I love you all, and I think you're being taken advantage of by this hands-off group and that woman right there. She is lying to you, and the Democrats are lying to you. Trump has never said he's taken away your Social Security. Stop. Yep, Indivisible is the group, and they're lying to you too. Stop following those people. USA! Anyway, good fun. They're gonna do their photo up. I gotta go back and watch the chat later because I'm sure it's just a lot of fun. Oh boy, I really upset them. The Nazi thing really triggers me. I don't know if you noticed that, but like calling everybody Nazis and like he was trying to do some historical, like, no, you've been lied to. The United States is nowhere near like Nazi Germany. That's just insanity. Complete fucking morons. I can't help myself. Thank God I got that water. We already hired a photographer. It's okay. Too funny. I've actually been back on the ground. Last protest I went to with these guys, you know, I just went and talked to them, and you know, they hate being challenged, but it was definitely a different experience without the camera out. You know, I had the camera out today, obviously, you know, people see the camera, they get pissed off, but just like talking to people, because I do feel bad for them and their beliefs, like, but like, what a short little protest. That one guy that I talked to early on has signed up, younger guy, good looking beard, you know, like, I don't get it. Just fucking defend your belief. You're not defending it, just calling names. It's really insane to me. I've always been one of those people, like, you can change my mind. The problem is, you never do anything to do that. It's hot. You know, you gotta actually do something and share something with me. But like, it's like Adam Schiff telling me that, you know, I'm gonna show you the Russia was. It turns out Russia wasn't, you know. But like, not one of them will go and watch. Hang on 1 second. Hang on. What time is it? 2:30. A whole hour. That's all they had in them. Was an hour. Soylent. No, I don't have high blood pressure. My fucking heart's good. I like to get fired up. Laura, I didn't get my steps in. But yeah, I love the mega sense across this thing. It is too fucking funny. Like, that one woman, she got aggressive, and she's pushing me with her sign and backing me up. I'm like, this knucklehead here. I don't remember who he's with. This guy. But I know I've seen his face on social media and all the posts. They say they don't retweet or repost White Rose propaganda, but they do. They absolutely do. Ah, shit. My phone's trying to play something. I don't think you're hearing me through this
Are you? Okay. All of a sudden, because now it's going through my earbud. Oof. It's a warm day, 79 degrees. I can hear you loud and clear. Thanks to that. Good times. Thing happens. If they go for 2 hours in the square in Hagerstown, and like they're doing their photo op and they're going home. They're short timers. We've never seen such short planned protests. This one I know started at 1:30. I don't remember it saying it was over at 2:30 or 2 o'clock. But maybe they realize this just doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't matter. They shouted a fucking wall as far as I go. But let's go for a ride, shall we? Let me do it. I'll take you with me. 86 here. Oh, it's warm there. That's good. See if you can find the downed trees. Um, Pamela Jean said 47. It's 47 here too. Good one, Pam. Um, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for a nap. What I call my little afternoon nap. I usually go home after working, and I will I'll have a little lunch because I have my snacks throughout the day. But then I go home and I have a little sandwich or something, a little put me to sleep nap. I sleep until usually when the unicorn gets done with work because she's working still till 4:30. So I'll nap for a little while. That way I'm not completely exhausted when she gets off work. And so I split my 8 hours of sleep up that I kind of need to survive into a couple hours and then about 5, maybe 6 if I get to bed early. But today, let's go to the 86 sign from. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to steal. She's allowed to think that. But it's funny. Did you notice how that guy responded? I could see that he was perturbed about it. But the uh, the Nazi symbolism was huge in the first rally they had. Everybody was saying, Trump's a Nazi, Elon's a Nazi. They were like over and over again, and all their signs had Nazi symbols. It's all on camera. It's all on live stream. You can go back and watch it. That was the one that I live streamed. Um, and then the next one after that, there was only one sign that I saw of all the signs that were out there. Only one had, calling a Nazi, Elon a Nazi, or um, and they dropped that rhetoric because they knew it wasn't working for them. They knew it wasn't working, and it's funny because they talk about being a Nazi. Wessel, Hagerstown, sister cities. That's what that sign is all about. Our sister city is a German town here in Hagerstown. And then in the US, Hagerstown has a sister city known as Hagerstown, Indiana, which appears to be about kind of the same as Hagerstown itself. There was the one legal weed dispensary. Now we have 2 legal weed dispensaries. Ashley Furniture, that was closing down. We got a an Academy Sports that just opened up. That's kind of fun. That's like our closest thing to like anything good sporting goods wise here. Dick's sucks.
They don't sell anything but clothes anymore and golf clubs. Here's one of the 5 Amazon warehouses. Still, I don't think it's fully operational yet. It's still kind of like this end is working, but they're still always kind of working on it. We have 5 major Amazon warehouses in Hagerstown. So this is Wessel's Boulevard, Wessel. Everybody has a different way of pronouncing it. I'm not sure what the actual pronunciation of this road is. Um, but so this is actually two separate Amazon warehouses. The largest warehouse in Hagerstown is over 1 million square feet, and it is uh, uh, Conair slash GXO, which GXO is the distribution company that Conair pays. Conair makes everything from hair dryers, um, and then they have an industrial line um, that they ship as well. But they had built like one of these warehouses, and then Conair was like, "We need twice as much space. Can you add on to it?" And so they added another 500 plus thousand square feet. And I got the opportunity to go inside. It is incredibly massive and sort of awe-inspiring to what it is, but it's really nothing more than thick concrete walls with some iron girders up on the roof and then a roof slapped on it. But let's see, we go by the park. We'll go by the park into downtown. I'm sorry, I'm not watching your chats at all. I got a light here. What's not difficult? Beautiful day. Hagerstown Police. That one lady that I was talking to about Hagerstown becoming like California. Well, the big debate they're having right now is the Supreme Court ruling on um, California's lawsuit about uh, protecting homeless people from removal from public spaces. Um, and so now Maryland is trying to create laws that override the Supreme Court's ruling, which is hysterical because that's one of the things that most of those people out there think that Trump's doing, right? But so they want to make living on the streets in tents legal in our town. Right now, the homeless community, they live in the woods and they find places in the woods. There's a group that lives underneath the bridge, and a local cleanup team has been working the photographs of all the needles and the garbage. Like, it's not that they're homeless, it's the amount of garbage that they pollute our local streams and whatnot with. The cleanup effort, they were there for 2 weeks, and they're still cleaning up and trying to get rid of all the garbage from the people that are living underneath the bridge. But that's one of the things they've been trying to figure out. And then the other thing they're discussing is Maryland has made marijuana legal, and they're trying to make sure that everyone has a place to go buy their marijuana. And we have one council member who says that it's illegal to go against federal law and uh, going against the Constitution. And so he voted no. But their belief is that if they don't set boundaries in places where the dispensaries can be located, that they'll be able to be anywhere next to, because they want to make it as accessible as beer and alcohol. So, so that's their predicament. I think they voted it in. They came up with some sort of guidelines as to where they can be. They can't be near schools, and we have so many liquor. We have more liquor stores in Hagerstown than I think barbershops, and we got a shit ton of barbershops. So one of the things that people have been complaining about is the speed of vehicles on this road. It's a 25 miles an hour road. The woman in that Nissan Rogue in front of me was riding my ass, so I let her go by. But she wants to speed down this road. And this is City Park here. Easton Swans. The other thing that they're trying to do is there's one pond in Hagerstown where you're allowed to fish. If you're over 55 or 65 and you're under the age of 13 with a parent, you can fish in this pond, which is apparently stocked with trout. But some Karen who doesn't like the kids and people fishing because they leave a mess has gone to the city council and asked them to stop allowing fishing in the park. So that's sort of drawn a good number of people to come out and go to the city council meeting and try to prevent that from happening. And it's one woman who found some fishing line, and she says some goose was killed. And I there's no evidence of that whatsoever, but that's her claim. And so they want to get rid of fishing because of all the garbage. But yet, we've got homeless people, drug addicts. We really need to shut down the city based on those same, guidelines. But so that's the other thing that's going on. Big train going through downtown right now. So Hagerstown was known as Hub City, still is Hub City, and that was gonna cut that road's closed to traffic. Um, because of the train hub, the old Hagerstown Roundhouse was back where we just came from, and this was a major shipping port for the trains back in the day. And so that's why they're trying to make it all these warehouses and whatnot, and bring back that industry. Sadly, though, a lot of those warehouses that they've built are still empty. So we just passed Walnut Towers, which is Hagerstown Housing Authority, and it's busy right now. It's 2:50, coming up on 3 o'clock. So this is dual highway in Hagerstown, but here it's Washington Street, West Washington, and then it's one way the other way with Franklin, and then it comes back together in a little bit. People don't know how to drive and keep the roads clear. They're too anxious. You can tell when they haven't driven in a city. They don't know how to pause at the green light and wait until there's room to go so they don't sit in the intersection. But it's laundry day, y'all. All of Hagerstown social services are down here. The Planned Parenthood is up here on the left. So I don't think it's Planned Parenthood. It's called something else. But usually on Tuesday afternoons on my way home from work, or is it Thursdays? Tuesdays. You'll see all the orange vest people. I don't know if you remember the orange vest people from my last live stream at the protest. They were out with the protesters. Um, they're the ones who escort pregnant women to their abortion clinic. Um, but on the same token, there's also a group of um, anti-abortion protesters that hand out pamphlets, and I think they offer um, free ultrasounds for moms before they get their abortion. But so yeah, that's interesting. That's right here, and then this is all Washington County buildings and public relations and marketing. A lot of downtown is empty. A lot of these buildings are empty. It's funny. I've never noticed that says real estate today, but I think that real estate office is empty. Usually, real estate offices have like listings in the window. That one doesn't have anything. They call this the dual highway. And there's where I went and did my jury duty there at the old Washington County Courthouse. Sometimes I was really hoping to get on the jury, but they didn't even get to me. They already had the jury selected by the time they got to the higher numbers. It's kind of right in the middle. So it's like 102 or 112 or whatever it was. See, like these great old buildings, like this one off on the right, those apartments would be awesome. The glass, stained glass windows. I like the boba from this place on the square here. The new one is these musicians that have been hanging out in the square. But as I mentioned in my live stream, they took away all the seating, so now everybody has to like bring out their own chairs and hang out. More of the housing authority housing. I think their goal is to give everybody free housing in Hagerstown, um, because every day there's more and more people in need of housing because they can't get jobs at these giant warehouses, which I don't get. I really don't get. Um, this sort of famous, well-known drug corner. The Penny Mart is the spot. Came through here one day, and these two guys just off to my right, they were leaned over. They had the thing, and I saw the one bike cop. Hagerstown has one police officer who rides a bicycle, and I saw him come up on him and kind of wake him up and move him along. Like they surprisingly sprung to pretty quick. I didn't think he was going to be as successful as he was, but he was. So this past year, the state of Maryland has been doing these traffic studies, and they put up these yellow cones up here, and then they did some stuff on the other side of the street. One section, they paid this woke company. Oh, wow, what's going on over there? Yeah, the road's closed. They paid this woke consulting company to figure out um, what's what safety needs the roads need, and they put in these speed bumps. A lot of people walking in the middle of the road. What the hell's going on? And people in Hagerstown had a complete shit fit over it because these speed bumps in the 25, you literally drive between them. On my way to work in the morning at 2:30, I would split them because there's nobody on the roads. But it was up for a month, and it was like they had to pay to see how that was going to work. But they had a bunch of people that came out and set this all up. It looked really official. Um, and they finally took it down. City of Hagerstown owns this golf course over here. They just had to spend $80,000 to redo one of the greens, and they needed money from the city in order to do that. So I guess what that tells me is that the city, it's not a self-funded um, golf course. And then I was surprised how much they spent to get their blades sharpened on the lawnmower. Um, we have these huge expenses, and yet they can't quite mow the medians. And I don't know. I'm just giving you some of the stuff. I'm not bitching or whatever. It's what's going on here. So, but coming up here at Eastern Boulevard, um, this is the homeless bridge, and I don't know how many people exactly are living underneath the bridge, but it's just outside the city of Hagerstown, and so it's Washington County, and you always see a lot of addicts that the city's been clear cutting these lots that they own because the homeless community. So this is the bridge here. So underneath this bridge on both sides, it's actually a really nice bridge. That's where the cleanup has been going. That's the Antietam River, or the Antietam Creek, and it's a fairly good sized creek. But um, the amount of garbage and needles and whatnot that had gone into the water um, is pretty incredible. And then there's another group that is the CCP, the Creek Cleanup Project. They do great work. Um, they've been going around all the local creeks and cleaning that up. But anyway, so fun. Well, I hope you guys had a good time. Um, wasn't a very eventful. I did get assaulted uh, by a grandma, very feisty grandmother, but that wasn't my intention. I knew I was going to upset them, but um, yeah, it was a good time. So I've never joined a group called the CCP. Yeah, I know. It's they don't really. It is the creek cleanup project, but yeah, it turned out to be CCP. But it is, they're doing amazing work. Um, I'm always amazed that the city doesn't help them by giving them places to throw the trash and dumpsters, and like they end up doing that thing at their expense. Where Washington County could help out, you've got free labor, but the county doesn't help and the city doesn't help. It's like, anybody know why the giant flag is at half mast today? Oh, it's the Pope. I'm sorry, I knew the answer to that. Very sad, but very sad. Anyway, all right, gang. I hope you had fun. I'll talk to you later. With you out. Bye for now.